Homage.
Yeah.
I'm feeling. Where are you from? Do you know we're in South Carolina? What is an homage? I don't know what that means. Feeling lugubrious today. What was that other word you had? Lament. Yeah. Homage. Could you start bringing a thesaurus in here, Ross? Homage. Who does he refer to? Like a superhero or something? Well, it's an alter ego. It's an alter ego. It's like he transforms, kind of like Clark Kent, like Renfro. Renfro walks around. I really believe he's Clark Kent. He looks like the most normal human being, and then he steps in that phone booth, and a lot of people don't know what phone booths are today, but back then you stepped in a phone booth, and Renfro puts his helmet on, and he turns into Superman. Faster than a speeding bullet, flies through the air. Everything sticks to his hands. Tough, So that's kind of Vinny. He's got this alter ego when he goes to work.
We know you have a good relationship with Mac Brown. North Carolina's got a press conference, presumably to name him their head coach. Have you talked to him lately about that or anything else? And what are your thoughts on him maybe coming back to the
Well, I actually texted with him yesterday just to see if there was anything going on. So I don't know if anything's been confirmed, but he's first of all, I hate it for Larry because I think Larry. I mean, you're talking. I don't know who asked me the question. Somebody asked me a question the other night about 3 years ago. We're in the ACC championship game, and that's how volatile this business is. And so I hate it for him, and that's why I kind of passionately got after a little bit the other night, because the fun's in the winning. The fun is in the winning, and if you can't have fun winning, then why you do it? I mean, it's hard to win, and to win consistently is almost impossible. And that's a perfect example. Here's a program that 3 years ago is in the ACC championship game and played us to the wire. We didn't blow them out. We was really happy to win. And now, he's out of a job in 3 years. It's hard. I know when I got hired in 2009, and it was my first full season. Gene Chizik got hired in 2009. I remember they beat us my second year. They beat us down there in Auburn, 2010, and they go and win the national championship. And I think like 2 years later, there's a new coach. They just came off the national championship. And so it's really, 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 really hard to be consistent. And so, I hate it for Larry because I know he worked his tail off to build a great program. And, they had some hurdles that they probably needed to get over that just weren't quite able to get over. But Larry's a good football coach, a good person. His wife is a great gal, and he's got a family. So, you hate it. And people, people sometimes look at the financial part of it and they go, oh, well, he'll be all right. But, it's not about that. This is your livelihood. This is your passion. This is what you love to do. And so that's hard. It's hard because you're talking about real people. So I hate it for him, but I know he'll land on his feet and be fine. But if Mac, it is official. Good for Mac, and I think Mac is great for college football. He is a very good friend. It'll be exciting to be able to have him in meetings and to be able to, have a different relationship with him from that standpoint. Obviously, I've never worked with him in the same league, so I think he'll bring a lot to our league, and he'll do a great job in North Carolina. I mean, he knows the landscape there, and he's well respected. If that's accurate, I'm really happy for him and excited for him, and he'll put a great staff together, and he'll do a heck of a job. He's, like I said, I got nothing but great respect for Mac Brown. He's as good as it gets.
Is your feeling that Clemson fans aren't properly appreciating this run, or are you trying to guard against that in the future?
No. First, our fans are amazing. 98%. 98%. There's always a small percentage in anything that are just completely out of touch with reality. So, the big thing for me is I don't want – fans can have whatever mindset they want to have. But I don't want anything to creep into a culture of our program, because our players, they get stuff pushed at them in social media, and I don't want our players to ever walk off a field ever with a win and the so-called feel like a loss. How sad is that? The objective is to win the game. And, I just, like I said, the fun's in the winning. And if it ain't fun to win, well, man, that's a sad state of affairs. And there's places like that. There's people like that. I'm miserable when we lose. I ain't going to be miserable when we win. I hate to lose. I hate to lose. Work too hard. But I do understand that sometimes losing's a part of your success. It's a part of your growth. But when you find a way to get it done, I don't care if you win 70. What was the score of the A&M game the other night? 72-70 or something like that? What was it? 74? I guarantee you, them A&M, they were jacked up to win. And that's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of things they got to do better, lots of things to fix, lots of things. But you won the game. You won the game. I know what losing feels like. I got a very clear picture of that. It's much better to win. And I've never coached a perfect game. I've never had a team play a perfect game. It doesn't matter. We can win by 40 points. There's always something to coach. There's always something to do better. Always something to improve. And that's the challenge. That's the great. But I don't want to ever be a part of anything where the players don't appreciate winning, and all of a sudden your culture is that winning ain't enough. It's not enough. Now you got to win by a certain amount of points and all this type of stuff. I just want to win by 1 point. If you win by more than 1 point and you win by 60 points, you're just 1-0. And the next week, if you win by 70 and you win by 3, you're just 2-0. A win is a win. And I've just always felt that way, and I've always been passionate about that. And that's what Coach taught me. Coach Stallings taught me that. And the fun's in the winning, man, and we celebrate. That's why I don't want to ever come in a locker room and have players over there pouting. Maybe, hey, we won the game. We'll worry about playing better tomorrow. We won the game. Let's celebrate. And we do, man. I love that. Man, and seeing those guys in that locker room the other night and dancing and celebrating, that's what it's all about. And, but then to hear some chit-chat from some of the players and things that, gets pushed at them, like winning ain't enough, that's sad. And I think that mindset needs to be checked. And that's the point I'm making. And, nobody's going to ever steal my joy. Joy comes from within. And I'm never, ever, 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 ever not going to have fun winning. And if it ever gets to where it's not fun to win, then you better do something else. I'm going to come do what y'all doing. I'm going to come sit beside you, Larry. I'm going to sit right there and try a different angle or something. But
With or without a thesaurus?
Yeah, with a thesaurus. That'll be my homage. I'll be the homage. No, man, the fun's in the winning. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget it. There's a lot of places around there that they'll take a 3-touchdown win any day of the week. They'll take a one-point win any day of the week, and we don't ever need to lose sight of that as a program. Fans can say whatever they want, however they want to feel, but I don't want to ever let any of that mindset creep into the walls of this team. I'm passionate about their experience, and I want them to have a good perspective and to understand how hard it is. It's really hard. And these guys, man, these seniors, God, are you kidding me? These guys won 52 games. It's just unbelievable. It's just incredible. And they've had fun doing it. So I'm just excited for them. And, you know, I mean, that's why you don't see – do y'all see anything up there that says win the national championship? It's never been there. That's never been a goal. I mean, I don't measure success that way. I mean, what if we went 12-0 or 13-0 and some committee doesn't vote us into a playoff? Does that mean we had an awful year? Does that mean we were failures? No. That's just not the mindset we want to. Winning a national championship is a byproduct of all the things that I measure success by: commitment, passion, toughness, love, servant leadership, discipline. You know, just those are the things that I equate success with. Man, my 2014 team, that's one of the funnest teams I've ever coached. We didn't win a national championship. That defense, man, they were unbelievable. Grady Jarrett, that crowd. I don't think any less of that 2014 team than I did the 2016 team that won it all. Hey, sometimes you got to, I mean, what if Deshaun had gotten hurt and missed 4 games in 16? Does that mean that team wasn't committed? Does that mean that team wasn't as passionate? Does that mean that team underachieved? No. That's not. So I don't judge things by that. I don't judge things by a scoreboard. Other people do. I don't. Never have, never will. I judge teams based on their work ethic, their commitment, their leadership, their buy-in. Those are the things that matter to me. You know, just like I want to be judged personally by how my boys turn out in life, how my 3 sons turn out. Judge me by that. Judge me by how my players go on in life, what kind of impact they make in their marriages, in their communities, in their societies. That's how I want to be judged. I don't want to be judged by whatever my win-loss record ends up being. It's not how I want to be judged, and because that's just not who we are. And I know there's plenty of places out there. If you don't win the national championship, well, you had a failure year. That mindset is never going to be a part of this program as long as I'm the head coach. Never. We're gonna measure our teams based on our heart and our commitment, and never lose sight that the fun is in the winning, and really enjoy the journey and the process. I mean, I've been to the top of the mountain. I've been there. I've been there as a player. I've been there as a coach. That's great. That's an awesome moment, but it's just a very small moment, and that's not what you remember. What you remember more than anything is the journey to get there, the relationships, the grind, the failures, the stick-to-itness, the perseverance, the fight. That's what you remember, and that's ultimately what matters more than anything. I want to win the national championship every single year. That would be wonderful. I'd like to win like 15 in a row. That would be great. But if we don't, I'm not gonna all of a sudden say, well, you all failed. You know, that's a terrible perspective, in my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I just so happen to be the head coach here, and that's my opinion.
Coach, consistency. You got 4 repeat first-teamers on the All-ACC team, 21 guys overall across 3 teams. What does that say about the recruiting and development of this program?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, that's, to me, is what makes college football so much fun and so unpredictable, because, it comes down to recruiting and development. I mean, there's a lot of great coaches out there that they just, maybe they're at a school that it's hard to recruit to, or maybe there's not good recruiters. I don't know. Maybe they're a good coach, but not good recruiters. Maybe can't quite articulate what they need to. But, I think that it speaks volumes to the development of our guys, number one, and then also our recruiting. And it's just awesome to see these guys be recognized for their hard work. But you look at any consistent program in college football, there's probably continuity on the staff, number one, continuity with the head coach, and the ability to recruit. I mean, you got to have good players. And I'm not talking about getting the 5-star and winning have we ever won a recruiting battle? I've never had the number one recruiting class, ever. 10 years. We hadn't had one. We've had some good classes, but it's more about getting the right guys that fit your program and then developing those guys. I mean, Grady Jarrett was a 2-star recruit. Who'd we beat to get Grady Jarrett? And he was an unbelievable player. So I think a lot of people try to recruit this guy because these teams have offered him, or he's got all these stars. You better be great at evaluating and be detailed in the process. So at least that's what I believe, so that you can protect your program by who comes through the door. And because if you go out there and you sign a bunch of guys that are supposed to be good players and they're not good players, you're going to get average quick. And so the consistency in our evaluation and our development is the key. And then just the culture of our program, because that's our guys graduate. They graduate. If you got guys that are staying in your program and graduating, and you got the right things in place, then there's a good chance that they're going to improve. I mean, you look at a guy like Denzel Johnson. He's one of my all-time favorites. Denzel Johnson, I don't think he had it. Maybe South Carolina State. Maybe. But here's a kid that has put the work in. And, man, he's a baller. He has developed into a really good football player and still got more to go. I love seeing guys like that, seeing a Hunter Renfro, who's a walk-on, who hopefully will win that Burlsworth Award next week. Been waiting to nominate him for that for 4 years. But it's pretty cool. So it's the combination of who you're recruiting and then the development of those guys and the evaluation. All that stuff goes together, and that's what leads to consistency. And then it's continuity with the coaching. I mean, you look around, you see some of these programs, they've had 5 coaches in 9 years. I mean, just in my previous 9 years, some schools have had 5 and 4 and 3. And, man, it's hard. It's hard to get anything when you don't have any continuity. So that's a big reason for our consistency here.
But were y'all able to get Trey Lamar back in practice, and if so, how did he look?
He looked good, and he practiced last week. He just wasn't quite confident on game day. He just didn't feel like he could. He's tried all week, but he just didn't feel like he could quite do what he needed to do. But he was back out there last night, and I think the rest helped him.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.